NoDQ Galaxy, we are live with predictions for the 2022 Survivor Series Premium Live event. I am Aaron Rift, being joined by the NoDQ panel. Walter, Steve-O's back with us for the first time in a long time. Noah is still enjoying his dinner. He is a simple man. He has to enjoy his dinner in the most simplest of ways possible, or sometimes the most complex of ways, even if it means being on a live stream. And of course, we got Steel City G with us again. So guys, Survivor Series, we have the WarGames theme this year. We have 4 matches, only 4 matches as of now. We had to do the stream tonight. I'm turning 40 on Tuesday, so Tuesday's out. And then the rest of the week, we got nothing really to talk about because we got Thanksgiving and everybody's going to be spending time with their families or just wanting to take a day off from the usual life, work, having fun, whatever. Just want to kick back and relax and not talk about wrestling, although some may do it anyways. Anyways, let's talk about Survivor Series, and I want to get everybody's overall thoughts on the show from a scale of 1 to 10. It's the final main roster premium live event of 2022. Walter, let's start with you. You are the master of cheap plugs. You were at SmackDown this past Friday. How excited are you now for Survivor Series? You got to see Kevin Owens show up.
I did. I'm excited. I say I'm at a 9. I'm just happy the Raw versus SmackDown era is over with, where people 2 days before pay-per-view join the other side, and all of a sudden they're prideful to wear the red or to wear the blue. So now that it's War Games, I'm really looking forward to Survivor Series for the first time in years.
I am too. This is one of the most anticipated Survivor Series pay-per-views or premium live events that I can recall in quite some time. It seems like there's a lot of positive buzz for this show with the War Games stipulation debuting on the main roster. Steve-O, we haven't heard from you on the NoDQ panel much lately. How's it going? How's life treating you? And how excited are you for this show?
Life is going good. It's great to be back here with the NoDQ crew. It's always a pleasure to be on and talk wrestling with you guys. I'm putting myself at an 8 out of 10 for this show. I think that dropping the brand supremacy stuff and adding the War Games matches into the show is great. I've always been a big Survivor Series fan. I've been to 2 of them live. The Shield, when they debuted back in 2012. I'm wearing the shirt to represent that. 2019 for the 3-way brand wars of NXT, Raw, SmackDown. Very solid show. Because I'm a big Survivor Series fan ever since like 1990, I'm hoping we get at least one traditional Survivor Series match just to have it in the show, because it just feels wrong not having at least one of those matches on there. But we're looking forward to discussing the show with you guys.
They eliminated the bragging rights concept at least, but we'll see if they add 1 or 2 more matches. I'm thinking they will, but we'll perhaps speculate on some additional matches as we get into the predictions. I do want to shout out our early birds, Tom Huxley, Cleaver Colin Andrew, who unfortunately could not join us tonight. He had a power outage. Best wishes to him for getting his power back as soon as possible. Absolutely. Philip Sapp, he's been dealing with some issues. Hopefully everything's okay, Philip. Glad to have you join us tonight. Calvin Bowman, Tom, I think I mentioned Tom, Darren G, CC Drink, Don Bowen, Johnny Boy, Nick Glavin, Matt Helms. Thank you all for tuning in early. Much appreciated. And, of course, Ken Terminates DQ. Thank you for tuning in. Noah Foster, we're almost done with the Predictions League. I think Sun Goshuaku is going to take it down again. But you're close, right? How are you feeling about this pay-per-view or premium live event?
Hey, hello everybody on this fine Sunday evening. How's all of you? I'm doing good and I'm feeling very optimistic about this premium live event. Again, it's a different take on Survivor Series. You're moving away from the traditional because the traditional hasn't mattered since 2019, and before that I didn't care about since 2009. And you're bringing War Games into play with some actual storytelling with all the factions involved. This last special disbelief. Some interesting matches beforehand. I don't see any like title versus title, all that type of stuff too. So this should be a very interesting show. I'm going to be a 9 out of 10. I want to give a shout out to NoDQ Galaxy member Christopher Rotz. I hope his mother's all right. And again, ahead of Thanksgiving, I hope everybody's just doing well right now. And Aaron, happy pre-late birthday. And this should be a fun video. What's already been an incredible week of professional wrestling. I've already watched 3 great shows, Impact, AEW, and WWE Stardom. I'm looking forward to discussing this.
Noah, how do you still have a voice? I watched you live last night. The way you were screaming during AEW, I was like, whoa, this dude's gonna have no voice tomorrow.
I guess it's just natural born voice to carry on my wayward son when it comes to calling wrestling. And I'm still gonna do a video after this too. That's gonna be a simultaneous feature regarding all 3 shows.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Happy to have you on, Noah. We thought you may have fallen asleep on us before the stream because you were so busy the last 24, 48 hours.
I'm working right now off 90 minutes total of sleep since Friday night. Not the first time.
A simple man who's
Be the
simply
last
busy.
time.
All right, and Steel City G, happy to be here as always. How's it going,
Yes.
man?
Doing pretty good. You know, my football team lost tonight, but I'm here with the guys talking wrestling, which is always fun to do. I actually went back on Peacock and I'm watching the best of WarGames. So I watched the very first WarGames with Dusty and stuff like that and see how it evolved over time leading up. I think I'm on the first NXT match between Undisputed Era versus Pete Dunne, Ricochet, and the War Raiders at the time.
Botch. That wasn't the first. That was the second. The first
Okay,
one
the
was
second,
the Undisputed
sorry.
Era versus
Sorry,
Sami
no,
versus
I'm
Albert
so
Lee.
He's young, Noah. He's young.
Damn it.
He's young, Noah. I just started watching all the Kings of the Rings over again.
So,
That's what I'm
But
watching.
as far as Survivor Series WarGames, I mean, everybody said it perfectly. Mine was a 9 out of 10, and thankfully they dropped this whole Raw versus SmackDown ordeal because it never made sense. So, other than that, like I always say, Aaron, let's get this ball rolling, baby.
All right, we got 4 matches. We may get through this relatively quickly. We'll see. We'll get the least anticipated match out of the way first. We have Ronda Rousey defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Shotzi. Now, I'm a Shotzi fan. I like her act. I've been an advocate for her getting a push, but with that being said, I feel like this is a filler match for Ronda Rousey, somebody for her to face. She's got bigger opponents coming up ahead as we get into WrestleMania season. And unfortunately, Shotzi hasn't exactly been booked as a world title contender. She won 1 match to get the opportunity. I feel like she should have been built up for several months before getting the title opportunity. Nonetheless, she is getting it. I'm happy for her. It's a big spot for her. It's a big opportunity. I think it might be the biggest match of her career, quite frankly. Like, when did she ever get a singles match on a premium live event? And I think this is her first title match. Noah, is that correct?
She may have had an NXT women's title match at some point, but I believe it actually was on television. So I think you are correct as far as major singles match on a premium live event.
Yeah, so Noah, I'll start with you on this one. I mean, do you think that Shotzi has any chance of shocking the world? Is this something that Triple H could book to throw everybody off and have Shotzi with a short-term title run and then drop it back to Ronda? Is that even possible?
Now, as long as Shayna Baszler is working with Ronda Rousey versus against her, hail to the no, but it will be a great proving ground to try and build a star like they did with Liv Morgan. Shotzi Blackheart has a lot of potential. Again, she came in here influenced by Lita, and honestly, she really hasn't had a chance to shine. The last time she was with Ronda Rousey, she lost in under a damn minute. But since then, we saw how she handled with Shayna Baszler to a degree, and again, she has developed a personality that the WWE Universe does connect with. I'm looking forward to what could be a very game contest, but Ronda Rousey's probably going to take her arm in the process. Ronda Rousey retains.
All right. Well, Walter, you have an opportunity now to go against Noah and I and pick Shotzi. Go for it.
Yeah, I could, but nah. There's no way. The most shine Shotzi's gonna get is her coming out in a tank and pressing a button to set off fireworks. That's the best she's gonna get on this night. She's gonna tap, and like hopefully she can look strong, and Shayna would have to interfere just so they can say Ronda didn't just dominate. But other than that, Ronda's retaining.
Well, Steve-O, this is your opportunity now to go against myself, Noah, and Walter.
Feel
and
free to put up the graphic,
Shotzi.
Aaron.
So tell us how Shotzi's going to win this match, and go.
Unless she actually runs over Ronda with the tank and that's before the start of the match, then I don't think that's happening. This here is what we call a free point match. So while I do like Shotzi, I think she has an awesome personality. And honestly, if she would have had like the match against Liv while she was champion, there might have been a chance she would have won. But there's no way, there's not a cold day in hell this is going to happen. So Ronda Rousey wins. Sorry.
You know, when she went heel, instead of getting rid of the tank, that's what she should have did. Hit people with it.
Right.
Should have invested in a bigger tank. You really think that tank's big enough to run over Ronda Rousey?
That thing is small. I saw it in person. It is small. It looks like a power wheel, like a kid's power wheel. That's what it
I
looks
remember
like.
those things. You're
Yeah,
right.
Yes.
Not a lot of love for Ronda Rousey, but I know Big G is happy that Shayna Baszler is getting a push now, aligned with Ronda Rousey. So I think as much as I'd like to say Big G is going to be the one that goes against us, he never bets against Shayna Baszler. So I think by default, Ronda Rousey wins, right, Big G?
Exactly.
I already wrote Ronda underneath his name.
Exactly. There you go. I mean, simple as that. I mean, it should be a fun match. And Noah, you pretty much said it should be a proven ground for Shotzi later down in the road. Eventually, if she becomes a big enough of star that she could one day hold a Raw or SmackDown Women's title.
All right, it's unanimous. Everybody picking Ronda Rousey. We'll see what happens. Never say never, right? There's always the possibility of a swerve, but if you want swerves, you got to watch AEW because that's where Swerve Strickland is.
And Jamie Hayter's the fucking champion. Let's freaking go.
And you could see Swerve trying to break people's fingers with pliers.
You got to say your catchphrase with the highly unlikely and all likely for her to win.
Highly unlikely in all likelihood that Shotzi Blackheart wins the title, but she may have a good showing. She'll probably get in a pretty decent amount of offense.
Yeah, and let's think about this, Aaron. At the end of the day, the problem with the WWE is depth in the women's division and star power. Outside the four and Bianca Belair and the baddest woman on the planet from MMA, they need to build stars. So you use these type of matches to do that. I mean, they did that with Raquel Rodriguez on SmackDown when she first debuted, but since then, kind of lost in the shuffle. Hopefully, Shotzi Blackheart, this doesn't become that.
All right, we move on. This match, I think we might be more divided on. I have this feeling that it's not going to be unanimous. So we have AJ Styles one-on-one with Finn Balor. And as Sheamus would say, I expect it to be a banger.
Too sweet.
These guys are going to have a great match. I'm almost positive of it. It should be a lot of fun to watch. And as far as a prediction goes, I'm a bit torn. Now, I went online and I saw this stat that apparently AJ Styles has not won a singles match on a premium live event in 3 years. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but would not shock me if it is accurate. Big G, we're going to start with you on this one. The Judgment Day, they've been on a roll as of late. But AJ Styles is the phenomenal one, former WWE champion. What do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, you're right. They've been really dominant, ever since Triple H took over the reins. And, they've won their matches on Raw against the OC the past couple weeks. We had Mia Yim being introduced alongside the OC. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't AJ Styles and Finn Balor have a match a couple years ago at a Survivor Series or a TLC match?
A long time ago, I do remember they did have a match at TLC.
Because it was supposed to be Demon Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, Sister Abigail, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Oh, remember that? Okay. What the hell was that, by the way?
That was a stupid idea from Bad Creative.
It was Chewbacca.
Yeah. So yeah, this match, going back to this match, it should be a banger. And from the stat that Aaron just told us, I'm gonna go with AJ Styles to get the win here.
All right. That's one for
like I
AJ.
said, Finn Balor has been winning it pretty much at these past PLEs, so I feel like AJ Styles needs to win here.
All right, well, let's throw it over now to Steve-O with his thoughts on this match and if he thinks that the Judgment Day's momentum will continue. What do you think?
So, yeah, I was going back and forth on it. Then I saw that stat online that you mentioned, Aaron, about AJ not having a singles victory. Again, I don't know how accurate that is, but I did see that stat too. In the past, when I've chosen Judgment Day, like I would get screwed over, but they finally picked up some momentum, and I started picking them again, and they're winning. But yeah, I think that I might have to go with AJ on this one just because of that stat alone. And I think since the Judgment Day has had the advantage the last two pay-per-views at least, that I think that they're going to have some good that they won't lose any like serious momentum if AJ has that victory. Now, mind you, I'm sure that there's going to be some shenanigans in the ring with both the Judgment Day, the OC, and all that. So I think that something will happen. AJ will get the victory, and the feud will continue for the meantime. But it should be a great match. Their match at whatever the pay-per-view was, TLC a few years back, was great. I'm a big fan of both individuals, so very much looking forward to this match. Again, AJ's my pick.
All right, well, I will agree with you on that, especially since at Crown Jewel, Judgment Day picked up the victory, and it feels like they have been winning a lot of their matches as of late. Therefore, I will pick AJ. 3 for AJ. It could be unanimous again, but we're going to throw it over now to Walter. Walter, I think, is going to be the one to finally end the streak of all of us agreeing. So, Walter, tell us that Finn Balor is going to win, how it's going to happen, and go.
Well, that stat you guys were talking about, it might be accurate because we got to remember AJ spent a year in a tag team with Omos.
No.
So any wins that he got on the PLE might have been that, and that's why he hasn't won anything one-on-one. He spent over a year with Omos. With that being said, I am breaking the streak. I'm going with Bálor on this one. I kept going back and forth. Anybody who knows me knows I'm a big AJ guy, but it's just if he was going against Priest or going against Dominic, someone who isn't the leader of Judgment Day, I said they'll give it to AJ. But because Bálor is the leader, and I don't think they'll make him look weak as the leader. Like Judgment Day's got all the momentum, and everybody's about Judgment Day, and then this will lead into I think the feud goes into WrestleMania, past Royal Rumble. So I say Finn Balor gets the first one, and then somehow somebody does something to get a rematch, and maybe AJ can win a rematch, or maybe AJ tosses Finn Balor over the top rope at the Royal Rumble, and that's what sets up their rematch at WrestleMania, and then maybe AJ gets the big one at WrestleMania. But for now, I think Balor's taking this one.
Okay, Walter Cruz has officially broken our unanimous picks streak. We'll see if it pays off for him. Noah, you're off the hook now. You can pick Finn Balor, and you're not going to be breaking any kind of streak. So go ahead and give us your thoughts.
That's crazy. AJ Styles last won a singles match on a premium live event in 2019. That's crazy. Yeah, again, Walter hit the nail on the head. Most recently, he's been involved in multi-person feuds. So honestly, he hasn't been involved heavily in singles performances. Finn Balor, AJ Styles, they are no strangers to face each other. One-on-one either. It's not their first time. But the way I see it is this: what you thought was going to be WarGames between the Judgment Day and the OC with HBIC, is not meant to be. But you know that all parties are going to be involved. Right now, momentum is with the Judgment Day. The OC has the HBIC to once again try and neutralize the Rhea Ripley factor. We're going to see it finally put into effect on a premium live event. It makes sense right now. This is definitely a program they're going to build out. And whether or not it still remains AJ Styles, Finn Balor, or becomes multi-person mixed tag team warfare maybe, either way, right now, the OC needs some traction if they're going to have anything against the Judgment Day. AJ Styles wins.
Oh, all right. So Walter's the lone man out on this one. Again, we'll see if it pays off for him. Okay, now we move on to our 2 WarGames matches. The first WarGames match, Team Bianca Belair versus Team Damage Control. You have Asuka, Alexa Bliss. You have Mia Yim, who just returned to WWE, and a mystery partner up against Bianca's opponents, which consist of Bayley, of course, Io Shirai, Dakota Kai, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley, who is also part of Judgment Day. We may see her twice on one show. So, of course, this is hard to predict right now because we don't know who that fifth person is on Bianca's team. And it's possible that they may not say anything on Raw. They may wait until the pay-per-view and keep it a mystery, in which case, it doesn't matter when we predict the match. But yeah, it's possible that we will find out on Raw, and that could change the dynamic of the match, in my opinion. So the way I see it, there are 3 people that could be that fifth person, which will make me go with Bianca's team. Becky Lynch is one of them. A second person is Beth Phoenix. And the third person, and I think this could be a long shot, but you have to think. This premium live event is in a certain town, a certain hometown of somebody who is in charge. She is a boss. So Sasha Banks, if she shows up, if one of those 3, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, or Beth Phoenix show up as the fifth person, I'm going with Bianca's team. Now, if it's Candice LeRae or Dana Brooke or somebody else other than those 3, I think Bayley's team is going to win. Now, we're going to do something to spice things up a little bit. We are going to do some bonus points for this match. We are going to predict which 2 competitors will start the match from each team. I'll go first on this one since I'm starting this off. I think we're going to start off with Asuka and Io Shirai. The 2 of them have history, and I think it would be fun to start the match off with those 2. So I'm predicting, Noah, that Io and Asuka will start the match. And each WarGames match will do this, so there'll be a total of 4 bonus points up for grabs. Now, Steve-O, we'll go over to you on this one. Thoughts on this match, and who do you think is going to be the fifth person? How do you see it all playing out?
Should be a solid match. Definitely has had a very good build-up for it for like most of the individuals on each side of the teams. It's what you said, Aaron. Like, it's going to be dependent on how big this mystery partner is. If it's a Becky Lynch or Sasha Banks, I almost thought if they're going to leave the 2 mystery spots open, but Mia Yim got added this past Monday, so it won't be two ladies being added. It's either going to be, it would have to be one of those 2 of returning. But interesting that it's Miss Sasha's hometown, but. That being said, I don't think she's showing up. So as long as it's Becky Lynch, I am sure that, Bianca Belair's team is going to win. I'm going to hold to it. Maybe I'll change it down the road if we see tomorrow Candice LeRae randomly gets added or drop or something. But for now, I'm going with that. Now, as for the 2 ladies opening up, I'm just going to go with Alexa Bliss and Dakota Kai myself.
All right, fair enough. Steel City G, let's get your thoughts.
As far as the mystery opponents or the mystery partner for Bianca's team, Aaron, I was thinking the same exact 3 people. Anybody else, and really doesn't matter. Should be a fun match. Hopefully, Io Sky doesn't do any weird moves off the top of the cage, and
I think there's a decent chance she will.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
There's a reason why it doesn't have a roof.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go with at this moment with Bianca's mystery partner. I'm gonna go with Team Bianca right now.
All right.
As far as the 2 people starting, I'm gonna go with Bianca and Bayley.
Interesting. That would be something against the norm. I feel like the captains rarely start the match. It's usually them coming out at the end, but hey, anything's possible, right?
It's the
Noah,
after all.
what do you think, Mr. Foster?
This thing with damage control, particularly Bayley vs. Bianca Belair, needs to end. So hopefully WarGames is literally the last stand. So I'm going with Team Bianca here regardless. Aaron, you hit the nail on the head as far as the mystery partners. The only other person I can think of, because I know he wants to bring her back, is Tegan Knox. The only history she had, she was obliterated by Dakota Kai ahead of a WarGames match back in the Black and Gold NXT. But I'm not sure if there's enough traction behind that now to bring that back. So as far as who starts this, though, that is the interesting concept. I don't see the captain starting off because I can't recall last time the captains actually did start off the WarGames matches recently in WWE. You do have those budding feuds, though, with Asuka and Io Sky, excuse me. WWE name conventions, still hate them. Nikki Cross, she is the wild factor. She might just come in here right in the middle, out of nowhere. You have Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley. That would be an interesting contrast that just comes out of nowhere. Bayley, she might lead by example since she's the only one without a championship for her crew. And then you have Mia Yim. It's one of those things where literally you can toss a coin and there's no honest way to guess who will be the first on each side. But I'm going to say that Team Bianca finally ends this thing with damage control. And as far as who starts it off, be different. I'm going to say Rhea Ripley and Mia Yim.
All right. That's a pick for sure. Walter, it's your turn now.
In terms of the mystery partner, I think I had the same people in mind that you had. I really think it's going to be Beth Phoenix, but if it is Sasha, I hope they leave it as a mystery and don't say nothing. Like, how big of a pop would it be if you don't say nothing? Her music hits in Boston, it'll go crazy. And the only way I'm going with Bianca's team is if it's Sasha. If it's anybody else, I think it's Damage Control that's going to win. In terms of the people that start, I think it's going to be Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. They have the history, and I think those two are going to be the two to start. And I'll add something. I think Rhea Ripley is going to be the sole survivor on her team. She's going to pin Bianca, and that's what's going to set up the WrestleMania feud for her to win the title at WrestleMania. That's how I think this is going to go.
Unless, of course, Sasha.
Unless it's Sasha, yeah.
I still think that's a long shot.
You're holding out for a wing and a prayer, but good luck to you.
Well, save this audio, and we'll see what happens next Sunday. All right, guys. Now we move on to our last match. Under 30 minutes in, and we're down to our last match, the men's war game match, which is definitely going to be a banger. I think I'm confident in saying that. We have the Bloodline, Roman Reigns, Sami Uso, Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa going up against, I guess, Sheamus is the team captain. I was not aware of this. I thought it was Drew. But apparently Sheamus is the team captain. We got Sheamus along with his brawling brutes. You got Butch and Ridge Holland along with Drew McIntyre and, as we saw on SmackDown, Kevin Owens. And we all know the history between KO and Sami Zayn. Building Nexus sent in a $2 super chat, backtracking here a little bit. What are the chances Mia Yim and Rhea Ripley take each other out mid-match? Because they have a thing going on right now. I mean, that's possible that something could happen with them. And we have seen it before where people get taken out of the match due to an injury or a worked injury. So, yeah, I think it's a possibility, but probably not. I feel like Walter's scenario was more likely where Rhea's the sole survivor and gets the win for her team. But we'll see.
Is it pinfall submission only? That's the only way to get eliminated?
Once all 10 people are in, that is correct.
Yeah, so I don't think that can happen with Rhea and Mia.
If you go back to NXT, I believe Rhea Ripley did win one of the NXT matches.
Yep, her team beat Team Shayna Baszler.
There you go.
Sean Garner sent in a $5 super chat. And I guess you guys can answer yes or no if you feel like you can commit to it. Do you think Sasha returns to WWE? I am leaning towards no.
No.
But I would not rule it out. I'm not confident in saying yes, though. So for now, I'll believe it when I see it. Anybody think she will be there? Like they feel strongly about it? Anybody?
I think eventually at some point.
I mean, if the communication between WWE and Sasha and Naomi are like a lot better than it was before, then I mean there might be a chance.
The thing that holds me back from her doing a return is that recent trademark she did for Mercedes Monet or whatever. Like, it sounds like it's just a gimmick she's going to use in like AEW or another promotion. Maybe not, but I mean, that just kind of sounds like they make
That might be a Hollywood thing, you know.
Or
Yeah,
it could be an
yeah.
elaborate red herring.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just could be a self-investment for all we know.
All right, so we're going to go right back to Walter on this one. Oh, by the way, Building Nexus sent in another $2 super chat. Says Team Bianca is doomed without the man. And by the way, guys, we should point out this is not an elimination match. I guess what Walter meant to say was Rhea Ripley will get the win for her team.
Yeah.
She'll be the one that makes the other person submit.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I was like, I think WarGames.
I thought it was an elimination. That was my fault.
No.
That's Survivor Series.
How long have you been watching wrestling? Although none of us corrected him on it.
Well, you know what, Aaron?
We went
Aaron,
over
it's
it.
8:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday night. Some of us have work in the morning, but
What?
watch.
Well, I'll correct myself. Rhea Ripley wins for her team and she pins Bianca.
Well, I mean, we'll also see how physically capable Rhea Ripley is because she hasn't been involved in a match since that match on Not My NXT.
All right. So, anyways, Walter, same deal. Pick the two people that you think will start the match and who you think is going to win overall. And we always say it's hard to bet against Roman Reigns. So, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah, I told myself just like you, don't bet against the Roman Reigns. Don't bet against him, but you're not betting against them. Technically, you're betting against the entire bloodline. You know something's gonna happen. I would love it if they started with KO and Sami just to see what happens, and then nobody attacks each other. But I don't think they're gonna go there. I think it's gonna be Solo and Butch that starts it.
Solo and Butch. All right.
Yeah, Solo and Butch start.
Big G,
then-
what do you think?
Oh, I gotta predict the winner though, right?
Oh yeah, predict the winner. That would be a good idea.
Yes.
We are tired tonight, folks. I'll tell you
Team
that much.
Sheamus. I think Team Sheamus. I just think they're gonna pull it out. Some shenanigans is gonna happen with the whole KO Sami Zayn situation, and so I think Sheamus teams win. The brute.
Are you feeling broody there today?
Yeah.
All right, Big G, what do you think?
You know, we said this before. I'm gonna say it again. This match is going to be a banger. You know, should be a fun match. I feel like I know there's no points or anything like that, but I feel like Sami Zayn is gonna take the pinfall here to create more dissension between, you know, him and the bloodline, and more importantly, Jey Uso. As far as who's gonna win the match, I'm gonna go with Team Brute to win here. Roman doesn't have to take the pinfall here because it's not a championship match. And as far as the two people starting, I'm taking Walters. I'm gonna say KO and Sami Zayn just to have that great reaction from the crowd, because you know every time KO and Sami go at it, the crowd freaking goes nuts. So those are my two picks, and like I said, Team Brutes to win the match.
All right.
It'd be funny if they start and just don't hit each other for the whole 5 minutes. What is it?
I
5 minutes?
I would be fine with
if
that.
they just be like
crowd going.
All right, Simple Man Noah Foster. Good point here from Dr. Dakota Scorpio. Sami Zayn guaranteed victory, which would seem to lead to him being the one that cost them the match. What do you think is going to happen?
I feel like when you call your shot, you already set yourself up for disaster. And at the end of the day, the bloodline is not the story of Roman Reigns. It's the story of Sami Zayn, Sami Uso. I feel there's going to be fallout between Sami Zayn and Jey Uso that causes the bloodline, and Roman Reigns is going to be pissed and confront both at a later time. That being said, I'm going a little different here when I think about emotional combustible elements and hot heads and people out to prove a point. We're going to see if the right-hand man, former main eventer himself, can actually carry the load. I think Jey Uso is going to start off with the bloodline, and I have him kicking off against Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens and him have been jaw-jacking lately, and I think that'd be a different dynamic. While I do feel like Sami Zayn and KO is a hot start, you could put that in the middle. I'll tell you one thing that probably is for sure, Roman Reigns will probably be the last guy in the damn structure. So that being said, you have to give something for Roman Reigns between now and the Royal Rumble. Maybe even draw interest before the turn of the new year so you don't have a premium live event between. I think this sets up literally Sheamus versus Roman Reigns. So I'm going with the Brutes for the victory.
All right, Brute's victory. Steve-O, agree or disagree with that take?
It's very hard to pick against Roman Reigns in anything. Yeah. And even the Usos right now as the current tag champions of both brands. Yeah, I was trying to go back and forth with this. Originally going in, I was saying, the Brawling Brutes and company would win, but I think I'm going to still stick with it because I'm just like going back and forth. Like all the matches I picked, like I picked all faces. I mean, except Ronda. Is she a heel now? Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Indifferent.
Yeah. So that's the only heel I've picked. So I think they'll add another random match where some heel team or heel individual wins. But I'm going to go with Brawling Brutes to win, just to build some dimension among the Bloodline. Again, Roman's not losing his title or anything if he loses this match. So going with the Brawling Brutes, and I'm going with the hot start among Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to open this match because I think that would be a hot start.
I agree, but I think they're going to make people wait. I think you want to build that up. So I think it's going to be saved towards the end of the match. I think it's going to start off with, I was thinking of this, and I feel like it's going to be the workhorse guys in the beginning, the guys that are going to be out there for 35, 40 minutes, however long the match is going to be. So I thought Butch, for sure. Butch is a guy that can carry the entire match, be out there, and Jey Uso, the right-hand man, starting things off in the match. I think it'll start with those two, and I'm going with the Brutes to win. I think something is going to happen with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that will cause the Bloodline to lose, and that will be the beginning of the end for Sami Zayn in the Bloodline as we get closer to WrestleMania. This is the one time where Roman Reigns can lose because his precious title is not on the line.
Yes.
And that's Survivor Series, everybody. Now, I'm sure there will be more matches added, at least one, maybe two matches, and we could talk about that real quick. Anything we think is going to be added at the last minute. Noah, anything you can think of off the top of your head, possible matches that have been teased that you could see happening? I know somebody brought up Miz versus Dexter Lumis, but they have that taking place on Raw. That's not going to be at Survivor Series. So anything you can think of?
I can see maybe United States Championship match between Austin Theory and Seth Rollins, and maybe Bobby Lashley as himself at the factor. You just get a 3-person melee on Monday Night Raw. I was also thinking about the Intercontinental Championship. When are they going to do Dalin General Walter versus whoever's the winner of this World Cup, which sounds like they're going to lead to Braun Strowman. Lord help us. And as far as what's recently developed with Bray Wyatt, LA Knight, I want to see that grow into something, but it wouldn't surprise me if they turned that to exhibition since Bray Wyatt has not been involved in reaction since his return. So that's my takes.
All right, Big G, anything you would like to add?
That's what I was pretty much thinking too. So,
all right then,
Walter. See what happens on Monday and then I guess Friday. So,
Walter, anything you would like to see added to this card?
The only thing that would make sense is the Wyatt LA Knight, because you can't have another women's match because Bianca's involved in that. So there's no Raw women's title. There's no, unless Miz and Johnny Gargano go at it on the pre-show or something. Other than
that's just sad.
Yeah. Other than that, LA Knight and Wyatt would be the only one that actually makes sense because they got something going.
Elias and Matt Riddle versus Alpha Academy is a more realistic possibility on the pre-show.
And Steve-O, before we get to you, Oofman Entertainment sent in $5. Thank you, Oof. We appreciate it. Says, do you start with the women's WarGames match or have both WarGames matches close to each other? So I guess like separating them, like doing one. I like that format. I'm not sure how you guys feel, but I do like having one WarGames match and then give us a break with some other stuff and then do the second WarGames match. But anybody here in the panel argue for doing them back to back?
No, I agree. I agree. You open one, you close with the other. The Black and Gold NXT literally did that with the women's opening and the men closing. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. I think we're all pretty much in agreement of the women's match opening, and then they do the middle matches, and then we get the men's WarGames match. And I'm pretty sure, I would say with 99% accuracy that it's going to be the men's closing the show.
It would only make sense to do that to start with the, because if anything goes wrong with the structure or anything, they can fix it while it's up there. Before, if you tried it back to back and something happens to the structure in the first match, you got no time in between to do any kind of adjustment.
Yeah.
So like in terms of a company standpoint too, it wouldn't make sense to do back to back.
Yeah, even with a 3 minutes
Yeah.
WWE superstar spot.
Wait a minute.
Yes, I said it.
Did you just say 3 minutes?
Well, Steve-O, anything you would like to add?
The only thing that I would like to add, I mean, I could see Bray Wyatt and LA Knight either having a match or a segment. I'd be cool with either or. I want that traditional Survivor Series match somewhere on the card. So I'll just do a quick pitch. Seth Rollins, Miz. Seth's the face now. Excuse me. Seth.
Austin Theory.
Yeah, there we go. Austin Theory, Miz, Bobby Lashley, and then maybe one or two other individuals versus a team with Seth Rollins. And then, I don't know, make something happen. I can't think of anything off the bat, but I want some traditional match on the card. And I would figure adding a ladies match too, but I mean, I don't know who they could do it where it would make any sense to have
That'd
it
be overkill. That'd be overkill, Steve-O.
Yeah.
Well, not a team match, excuse me, a singles match or even a tag match, but that's it.
It wouldn't make sense because Bianca's already involved. Like the other title, like why put a random one-on-one women's match that means nothing?
True.
It's WWE.
Yeah.
That's true.
Now just do one team match, Survivor Series team match, and then I'm good.
I agree with you, man. I think they should do 1 4-4 1. Unfortunately, there's so little time to build up to it.
Oh yeah.
They probably could fill in with just a basic tag match with the New Day and the Viking Raiders.
I do wish they would go back to that format where it was like 4-on-4 and everybody who survives, they all team up at the end and that's the last match. I wish they would go back to that. That was fun.
Hey, Walter, trivia for you. Where did that Survivor Series take place? What city?
Which one? The one with Ultimate Warrior Team Warrior?
Yeah, the Ultimate Match of Survival.
Damn it, I forgot.
Well, you should know.
I thought you were there.
Yeah, Hartford.
Yeah, Hartford, Connecticut. The same building you were at this past Friday for SmackDown.
Yeah, you guys gotta remember.
Symbolism.
I was like 9 when that 8. What year was that? 93, 94?
90.
90? Look at that. I was 7 years old, dude.
Well, I'm jealous you got to see The Undertaker's debut.
Same here. That was my first series watching.
I got to see it, but I was basically
only 3
crying.
years old,
I was basically crying in my brother's armpit. He scared the hell out of me, dude. When I was little, Undertaker, and he's my favorite wrestler of all time. Like him and Shawn Michaels are 1A and 1B for me. But he literally scared the hell out of me when I was like real little.
That's a fair take.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, guys, we're done. We wrapped up here. 4 matches, maybe 5 or 6 when it's all said and done. But thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you to the panel for being on tonight. I'll be doing live coverage Saturday night. We'll go ahead and do our plugs. And we'll start with Steve-O. It's been a while, man. So thank you for joining us. And what do you have to promote?
Always a pleasure to be on, guys. Thank you for letting me on. I'm Steve-O. I'm on Twitter at SteveOJ on Twitter, and then follow my wrestling group, Too Sweet Cosplay, at Too Sweet Cosplay on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube as well. We haven't done too much new content, but it's always fun out there. Good group of people. Nico, who has been in the panel in the past, is a part of that group. So come check us all out. But yeah, I'm always down to talk wrestling and other topics too.
All right. Thank you for that. And now we'll move on to Walter Cheap Plugs Cruise with, I'm sure, a cheap plug. Go ahead.
You can follow me on Instagram at Campfire Farms. Or you can get my shirt. There's the Walter Cruz stick to my shirt. Stick shirt. I have that here. You can get this. You can get the NoDQ merch that I have on, the red and black shirt, or live model. My son has the hoodie, the red and black hoodie, NoDQ. So WWE wants you to feel oozy. We want you to feel merchy, and go to NoDQ.com/merch and get it to NoDQ merch.
Show us that other shirt because you were freezing.
You can get with this, and you can get with that. And you can get with this, or you
Dope
can get
shirt.
with that.
Stick to my shtick. There you go.
Good grief almighty.
All right, Big G, you also have a new shirt up. You're Steel City G.
/merch Steel City G. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan or love the city of Pittsburgh, that's the shirt to get. You can follow me at NoDQ.com/BigBallerG. That'll take you to my Twitter page at BigBallerG1988 on TikTok. And Aaron, do you still have that lovely WrestleCade thing?
Yeah, let me see if I can find it. It's always floating around in different places. There we go.
So next
Talent King!
if you're in the North Carolina area, I won't be there personally, but my buddy Daniel Parker, one of the owners of Parker Kane Promotions, is going to be down there. A lot of people are going to be down there, including these 5 awesome guests. There's going to be, I think, ladies' night wrestling. Kylan King and Courageous Christina Marie in a fatal 4 with other 2 female wrestlers, so that'll be awesome. We have a show. I think there's a show in December in Jersey, and then Baltimore Slapfest 6 in February. So Parker Kane Promotions is doing a lot of great things.
Nice.
All right. And last but certainly not least, the Simple Man with maybe a simple plug, maybe a little bit more complicated, but Noah, go ahead and give it to us.
You already know what I'm about, Aaron Riff. Again, always a pleasure. Good luck to all you gentlemen. The forum will be live later this week on the Twitter, as long as it's still live. But if people want to know more about me, know this. I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, to my entire ATW family on the Twitter. Again, like I said, I'll have a simple takeover on Impact Wrestling's Overdrive, AEW Full Gear, and the NWW Stardom crossover pay-per-view. There'll also be recap reviews of AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage this week. Stay tuned for play-by-play coverage of the Jet Feature Network Multiverse Media, as of course me and James Hebert and JJ Williams will of course bring you our live reactions to Survivor Series WarGames in its entirety. And of course, we plan ahead for NXT Deadline and Ring of Honor Final Battle next month to conclude professional wrestling for the year 2022 and all the leagues too. But as always, I like to conclude, there are no winners, no losers, no betters. There are just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, and definitely this week, treasure your families. And just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that.
You were channeling Excalibur there with your plugs.
Aaron, a sub-hour video with Walter in it.
If Jeff was on, then we would have somehow gone over an hour. Shout out to good old JM, Jeff Meacham. Check him out at jeffmeachamnetwork.com. And of course, like I said, we'll be doing coverage this weekend, Saturday night. And I will be back Saturday night to give my thoughts on Survivor Series. Make sure you tune in for that. Stay tuned, everybody. And like everyone said, head over to NoDQ.com/merch. Pick up some shirts. Use the code EARLYBIRD for a 20% discount. Take care, everybody. Enjoy your week. Stay positive. Love your life. And we'll see you next time. Say yes to NoDQ. Peace out.
Have a
Feel
good night,
merchy.
folks. Have a good night,
Feel
folks.
merchy.
Oh, for the love of God. How about we get an actual word from the dictionary and have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody?
There you go.
And happy birthday to Aaron. Happy early birthday.
40th birthday.
Thank you.
Congratulations, boss man.
You want to sing?
No.
Sure.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good man.